There are people in your life right now who pretend you don't exist. They don't like your posts, they don't comment, they don't reach out. But let me tell you something that most people won't say out loud. They're watching you more than the people who support you. And it's not random, it's not curiosity, it's calculation. Because whether you realize it or not, there's something about you they're trying to understand, measure, and even replicate. And the crazy part, you don't even see it happening. You have to understand, not everyone who is silent is disconnected. Some people are silent because they are studying. They are observing your growth, your energy, your consistency, your mindset, trying to figure out what makes you different, because you move in a way that doesn't make sense to them. You don't react the way they expect. You don't fold under pressure the way they would. You don't chase validation the way they're used to seeing. And that alone makes you stand out. Let me pause right here for a second. If you've ever felt like people move strange around you, like they watch but don't support, comment "I see it now" below. Because once you see it, you can't unsee it. Now here's where it gets deeper. A lot of people think attention looks like support, but in reality, the quietest people are often the most locked in on you. They're watching your moves, they're analyzing your decisions, they're paying attention to how you carry yourself. Not because they love you, but because they're trying to understand a frequency they don't operate on. And here's the truth most people won't tell you. Your energy challenges people. Not because you're trying to compete, but because your presence forces them to confront what they're not doing, what they're avoiding, and who they're not becoming. So instead of supporting you openly, they observe you silently. Let me interrupt this again because this is important. This is not paranoia. This is awareness. There's a difference. Paranoia makes you fearful. Awareness makes you powerful. You're not imagining it when you feel like people are watching from a distance. You're not wrong when you notice energy shift when you walk into a room. You're not crazy for picking up on subtle behaviors. You're just tuned in, and the more you elevate, the more this will happen. Because people don't study average. They study what stands out. They study what they don't understand. They study what they can't easily replace. Now here's where most people mess up. They start shrinking themselves once they feel that attention. They dim their light. They move differently. They second-guess themselves. Don't do that. Because the moment you start adjusting yourself for people who are secretly watching you, you lose the very thing that made them watch in the first place. Stay authentic. Stay focused. Stay aligned with your purpose. Because whether they support you or not, they're still learning from you. And here's the part that might really hit you. Some of the same people watching you silently today will try to come back into your life later, acting like they were always on your side. Pay attention to that. Not everyone who returns deserves access. Now let me ask you something. Have you ever noticed how certain people go quiet when you start leveling up? Have you ever felt like the more you focus on yourself, the more people start observing instead of engaging? That's not coincidence, that's confirmation. And if this message is hitting you right now, take a second to like this video, share it with someone who needs to hear this, and subscribe to the channel for more messages like this. Because we're not just talking surface level here, we're tapping into what people feel, but can't always explain. Also, if you've been getting value from these messages and want to support the growth of the channel, you can contribute through the Buy Me a Coffee link in the description. Every contribution helps push this message further to the people who need it most. And I appreciate you for that. At the end of the day, you don't need everyone to understand you. You don't need everyone to support you. And you definitely don't need validation from people who are quietly studying you instead of standing with you. Because your path was never meant to be understood by everyone. It was meant to be observed, questioned, and eventually respected. And whether they admit it or not, they see you, even when they act like they don't.